VHS is literally becoming the American Horror Story to direct to streaming video. Like, I feel like that's what it is. I feel like every single fucking year we get a VHS movie. I don't know whether it's warranted or not, but if you're giving like first shot filmmakers a shot to actually show what they got and be able to tell their stories within these movies, I can't really hate on that, because the stuff that you're doing and showcasing these new up and coming young voices in the horror community is actually kind of ingenious, and it's really spotlighting them in a way that they're not getting spotlighted before. So in that sense, I really can't hate on this. So let's just get right into it. The framing narrative. Abduction. This one is a faux documentary about a Redditor who claims he has indisputable proof about aliens and about an alien abduction. This really feels more like The Fifth Kind. It feels like this, but just leans in more into the faux documentary aspect of it. It hits on themes on whether or not, like, is this real and stuff like that. And shout out to the Corridor crew, because they have the VFX artists on here reacting to this shit, and they're trying to like disprove this as well. I don't feel like the payoff is necessarily worthy for that ending. I think the framing narrative is very underwhelming, and it slows down because it's broken up into 5 different sections. There is another segment in this that is worthy of that framing narrative, and I will get to it. But Abduction, that gets 2 stars for me. It just couldn't hold my attention, and every time it broke into a new story, it felt like it just halted the story even more. This was the wrong way, the wrong narrative, the wrong framing narrative for this movie, in my opinion. Next up, Stork. They completely gave away the punchline with this. They should have called this Welcome to Warden or Warden. They shouldn't have called this Stork. This tells a story about a rookie cop who joins a secret outfit in NYPD, and they go out and they're killing these fucking monsters that are abducting babies and doing some crazy shit with these babies. And this whole segment feels like a video game. This feels like a live action version of Zombies from COD. Even when they pick up the chainsaw, it feels like they have to go through the wave again. It's great. And it has a great payoff toward the end. This was a very high octane segment, and this was a really great way to kick off the series. Next up is Dream Girl. Tells a story about these 2 up-and-comers that are trying to break into the entertainment industry. They get backstage passes going into talking to this it girl in India. And then it turns out that she is something more than, there's something more to her than meets the eye. Then she goes batshit bonkers and then starts killing everybody. The ending was actually kind of funny. I really liked the ending to it, but in my opinion, this one was very slow, very plotting, and I could not vibe with this one. Next one is called Live and Let Die, and basically a group of friends pay to jump out of a plane. It's someone's birthday. Birthday boy is not really having it. He doesn't want to do this, and they're like, whatever. As they're flying, there's a UFO sighting, and the UFO hits the plane, fucking sending everyone all out. They all hit into this orchard, and they're running around from this alien, just running around. This one was really high octane, very fast paced, has a really great ending, very ambiguous. You don't know what happens at the end, but you kind of know what happens, but it kind of leaves it up to the viewer on what you think happens. This was a fucking really great way to get the momentum back within this anthology. Next up is Fur Babies, and this is basically the unofficial sequel to Tusk. Really, like, this woman turns these people into humanoid dogs. She pretty much trains them and makes them dogs. She makes them bark. She makes them give them paws. She makes them crawl on all 4s. It is pretty fucking funny and really disturbing. I really do think this one deserves a much more in-depth look, because I felt like that ending was just a little undercooked and they didn't know how to end it, and it wasn't satisfying enough for me to accept that ending. I was like, no, man, no, seriously? And so I'm just like, okay, whatever. This one was really disturbing, actually. This one had nothing to do with aliens. This one and Stork are the two outliers because both of those dealt with actual monsters. Well, actually, no, because it is implied that the Stork is an alien because it came from the sky. But either way, both of those seem like monster ones, not aliens. And I feel like those two kind of clash with the theme that they're setting here. But yeah, I felt like that ending was very undercooked in my opinion. Yeah. And next up is Stowaway. This is about a woman who goes out to the Mojave Desert to investigate the 6 lights that are surrounding the area. These lights, and she goes and follows them. As she's following them, we start to figure out that she's recording over her daughter's birthday. Now, this one should have been the framing narrative because in the way that it's actually broken up, it would have been much more organic in the way to lead into different segments. Because there's segments in here where the camera kind of distorts, cuts to the birthday, and then you could have easily just cut into the next segment. This should have been the framing narrative because the ending to this actually is worthy to end this movie. It is actually really worthy to end this movie. The Stowaway is actually probably one of the better ones in this segment, and it's such a shame too because this one should have been your wraparound segment. Your abduction one should have been just a flat out segment because I feel like that one did nothing with it. Like it took too long to get there, but that's because it was broken up. Duh, but still, Stowaway should have been the wraparound. Stork gets a 4. So Abduction gets 2 stars. Stork gets 4 stars. Dream Girl gets 2 stars. Dive and Let Dive gets 4. Fur Babies gets 3. Stowaway gets 3. And Abduction gets 2. Only reason Stowaway gets 3 because it's not the wraparound segment. I had to deduct it because of that. Not fair, but I mean that's just how I see it. This was actually a really good follow-up to 1985's from last year. I thought this was really good. A lot of the segments here hit. There's some misses here, but overall the entertaining factor is there. There's something for everybody within this movie. On Shudder now.